Since it appears we have a quorum, we'll call the meeting to order at 7:06. And it does not appear that we have a flag, so we will unfortunately skip over the Pledge of Allegiance this evening. And I do not believe that we received any minutes from the February
That's my fault.
meeting. So, okay, so did somebody take minute?
I took very brief meetings.
Okay,
So I'll try to get something very briefly out. I've just been overwhelmed.
okay, so Al will try to get us some minutes from that meeting from February. So we'll skip over the approval of the minutes from last month, and hopefully the next meeting we can do February and March. We can discuss those. And let's see. So any changes to the agenda for this month? I don't think we had a whole lot on the agenda. And I know that there was, on the agenda for this month, there was the Sheriff's Department report, but I didn't receive that either from the town. Did you happen to get that?
No, I asked that it be distributed to you.
We did not receive it.
Neither did I. But normally, sometimes Jen sends that just to you and forgets me.
Right,
And so
okay.
there was no report from the sheriff, because I
There
did
was
ask twice for it to go out.
Okay, so does that come out once a month, or does it come out more regularly than that?
Usually once a month the sheriff sends something.
Okay, so I don't believe we received that for February or for March.
Okay.
I'll double check, but I don't think so.
Okay, February, March. So not receiving that, I would say, Al, that's a little bit problematic. Not only just for this board, but maybe even just going forward as we move into a more joint thing with the town, with the city. I think we would want to be able to provide them probably with some sort of, end of kind of our contract information.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to want to be able to provide them with some sort of substantive kind of summary of what's been going on and what we've been seeing. And I think it's probably a good idea to warn the Sheriff's Department of what types of things we've been seeing. So I think we're going to want to probably, let the Sheriff's Department know that this is what we're anticipating, and that we're going to expect that he's going to be able to provide us with some sort of, summary report of that. And probably the last year and probably the last 5 years, would you say that, Jay and Jesse, that?
They've only been with us for 2 years.
But I would say they've probably been providing services throughout the town for that amount of time.
Yes.
I know we contracted with them the last 2 years, so when we moved here, we were city, and then we switched to them.
So I've got an email from Jen dated March 1st that has an attached cover letter from the sheriff's office
I don't have that.
I don't either.
and a statistical report from the sheriff's office for the month of February.
Yeah, I don't have that.
I searched my email high and
I
low.
was checking, because sometimes I miss stuff, so I
Yeah,
was
me
checking.
too. Jay, who is on that, who's the copies on that? Because I searched not only on my phone, but I searched on my laptop too
Yeah.
at home.
Well, Jen sent it, and it was to, well, it says StAlbans.com, but it's in a chain of emails. It's in the middle of a chain of emails about meeting dates and all that.
You said March?
February
March
1st?
1st.
March.
March 1st, you responded, Danielle, on March 16th about,
About the meeting.
yeah. and
Okay.
It's in that chain.
Okay.
So that would have been the February report then. So we got the February one, but not the March one.
March is just finishing up, so we wouldn't have a March yet.
Okay. All right, good to know. So I will go back and review that one. We'll have to look at that, and can you open that, Jay, on your phone? Are you able to open that? Is it from February 1 to February 28? Or is it January 1st to January 30?
It just says for the month of February. So I'm assuming from the 1st to 28th.
Okay. Seek clarification. I'm just thinking, you know, how our reports go out at work. Normally,
That's the report.
oh, you got it. Okay, great, thanks. Take a look at that. How our reports go out at work. Yeah, see, it says the date is 3/8/23. So I'm assuming this would be for the month of February.
Yeah.
Okay. Attached are the reports for the month of February. There are no areas of concern. Okay, continue to see high number of speeding incidents. Okay, so we have the month of February. And we would not yet have the month of March. Okay, that makes sense. Okay. So, attached are the reports for February, total incidents, total arrests, total traffic tickets, total warnings. This doesn't give us as much information as we used to have.
It's just a quick overview.
It is just a quick overview. Did you want to take a quick look at that? Service hours committed, total service hours due. There's still a lot of total service hours due. Did you see that, Jay?
Well, he says total service hours due, 1,400.
Yeah,
Nine.
9.
Total service hours committed, 1,418. I don't know if that's for the month of February.
It does appear to be that
But
way.
I wonder if due was.
Because he's listing that there's 9.9 hours above the service hours contracted for, but, you know, I have repeatedly asked for the last couple of years for
And we asked them for that information.
reports and schedules and nothing, so I'm questioning that, but
Okay, so let's get a formal letter out to John now that he is in office. Let's get a formal letter out to him asking him to attend the next meeting in April. So we can ask him some specific questions about what this report, like how to read this and how to interpret it.
there is a second attachment to that too,
Yeah, I don't know, but that's.
that has broken down the number of incidents, what they were, motor vehicle data.
Oops,
Sorry,
sorry.
sorry, I don't have kids, so I lock my phone.
But it would be nice to know those questions that you have been asking, because we did ask for that information specifically, and we still have yet to receive that. And I think you had that on your,
But even that's not that, this is the second one.
you had that on
Your
your,
report.
Yeah, we talked about it last time too.
Right.
yeah.
I think our requests are going above death years, so I don't think it's there, I don't think it's, like the messenger, I just don't think it's being done.
So we had asked specifically, like, are the hours being met?
Yeah.
That was one of
How
our.
are they being met?
How are, like, are we?
I've asked to see schedules because
But I think we sent them that letter. Am I correct, Al? We sent that letter. We asked that letter be sent.
I don't, I'll have to verify that. Did it go through Carrie? The letter?
Well, we had asked you, that was back in December?
We asked to like talk to them about this, and
Yeah.
Talk to him, okay, because I don't remember sending a letter.
no, I don't think we asked for a formal statement, I think it was more of a, can we like, help, like just as the communication aspect of it.
Because we said we would like to see, you know, and because originally I think Jay was saying, you know, we'd like to see for the last 3 years or something like that. And I said, let's just back that up and just ask for the last quarter, right? And we agreed that that was good. And if we saw discrepancies in the last quarter, then we would move forward with something a little bit more aggressive.
Okay,
and the reasoning for that was, in the beginning, when the sheriff's office first took over the contract, we asked for schedules. The only scheduling thing we had was a printout of the month of September and October, I think of 2020, maybe 21, I think it was 2020. Maybe it was 21, but in that 2 months, I found like 13 shifts unaccounted for. And I've been asking those questions ever since and gotten
Yes.
absolutely nothing.
Right.
And I'm pretty comfortable in saying that, you know, in my interactions with deputies, that we're not getting what was contracted for. Now, how much leeway is in that contract, I don't know. Certain things like, you know, there'll always be a level 1 on, I know that hasn't happened. That, you know, there will always be, Friday, Saturday night, we'll have an additional 8-hour shift, so it'll be 3 guys on. I know that's not always happened, and I know that because as a fire department representative, we go to car accident, we go to calls, we see the deputies, and I say, hey, how many guys you got on tonight? And so I know it's not happening, and I know a lot of the guys that say, well, there's 2 guys here tonight, it's a Thursday, and they're both level 2, so where's our level 1, you know? I realize that hiring personnel, that all of that is an issue. Just be upfront and honest with me.
Okay.
If that's happening, just be upfront and honest. But right now, it has continually been denied, and we've got nothing, and I'm not, and it may be a moot point because we're moving forward with a different contract here in another
Well,
year, so.
it's not falling on deaf ears, so let's go back and look at our minutes and see what we agreed to do, because I think we agreed that we would move forward with asking them through a formal letter to, you know, give us information, and I think it's a valid point, like, at least let's know what he's speaking to when he's saying, here's what we've given for hours, and then there's like 1,409, like, where's that, is that a discrepancy in hours, or, like, at least come and explain the hours to us, like, he gets the invitation to come here and, like.
And which that we're merging too, they need to understand what we were doing prior to hopefully have to merge.
Yeah.
Well,
So, yeah, and I think that if we aren't getting, you know, the services that the townspeople expect when we move over to the city, we want to make sure that the townspeople feel like they're getting what they, you know, the protection and the services that they feel like they should be getting. So we want to make sure that, I think, people feel like they're getting their bang for their buck, so to speak, when we migrate over to that kind of joined police system. Does that sound good?
Mhm.
Sound like a plan? Okay. Anything else on the sheriff report?
There's not really not much, it's sad, it's just like facts per se.
Okay. All right. Anything, so I think that pretty much wraps up for the next meeting agenda. I think that kind of leads into the next meeting agenda, what should be on there. I think, I think we should ask John Grismore, to actually join us. I think we should formally ask him. Rather than just sending him an invite.
I can move there.
Huh?
I can move there and talk to him.
Okay. To come to our meeting.
By the way, what day is it gonna be?
You haven't figured that out?
I think it's already come out, so
No,
it's.
she didn't put a date on it, it's to be
Oh,
announced.
she didn't, okay.
It's to be announced again,
So it will be,
'cause I was hoping to.
so it's the third Thursday, right? So that's April 20th? Is that a conflict for anybody?
I don't think so, let me double check.
No.
I'm good, I'm good so far.
Yeah,
April 20th at 7 p.m.?
Yeah,
okay.
All right, let's get that.
I'm putting it on my phone, so here.
So let's plan on talking to Sheriff Grismore about report and what the difference in hours mean.
I wonder if we can ask him for like the last quarter report as we were talking about. And have it like a week before so we can review it before we show up to the meeting. So this way we're not showing up to the meeting and reviewing it right then, just
Yep.
for everybody's time purposes.
Quarter,
So I think a week would be enough for us to go through it, hopefully.
ask for in advance.
Yeah. At least a week in advance, if not earlier, just so we have diligent time to go through it.
Would you be able to ask him for that as well?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. How about any trends?
Yeah.
He is seeing. Anything on the horizon
We expect.
for the remainder of the year, of calendar year?
Yeah, and recruiting, what recruiting efforts are doing. So I know they're having issues with
Recruiting
that.
efforts?
Because we can give all the hours in the world, if they don't have manpower to fill it, it means nothing.
What's their staffing like
Yeah. Everybody's struggling with that right now.
situation? Okay. Anything else we can think of? If we put it in the minutes, it'll help Al, I think, when he goes to speak to John about, like, here are the things that we expect to be able to talk to him about that we'd like,
And we,
you know, to
yeah,
discuss, that way.
we'd have to report prior so we don't waste his time or our time.
Mm-hmm.
So no one wants to hear our reports.
Okay. That will probably fill up our meeting for next time. Anything else for next time, or Jay, anything from you? No? Okay,
Do you have an idea when we're gonna merge the two PACs yet?
June
There's
20th.
not gonna be a merger.
Or like, you know?
It'll be the two legislative bodies
Yeah.
creating a, if you will, a third board, because
Okay.
their board will disband, this board will disband, and they'll figure out. But and to my knowledge, they've
Yeah.
not met about this at all.
Yes,
So when's like our last meeting?
I have no idea. I assume that would be the month of, begins July 1st, 2024, so it'll be June
It's-
30th,
I was gonna say, it's June 20th.
2024.
I think it's June 24th
Right,
is when it starts.
expires.
Mm-hmm,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure.
I do know, though, that the select board is, well, if you all are interested, to send them letters of your interest.
Right, so I didn't know what that was supposed to look like, so I sent, so the next agenda item is member announcements. So I sent Jen a message since my term goes until next June, according to her.
No. Sorry.
Okay.
No, I heard differently, that everybody's appointment is 1 year and you have to renew.
No,
Yes.
yeah. Is it, what is 1 year? I think there's a couple that are longer than a year.
Mine was 2
Yeah,
years.
some were 2 years. Mine's a year.
Mine was 2 years.
I'm, just because I was told the opposite,
Yeah,
I would still affirm that you want to continue.
so Jen sent me a message and said
If Jen sent it, it's valid.
yeah.
Which, and she said 2 years, she stayed another year.
Well, she didn't, so my appointment is 2 years. So if you're a business owner, it's 1 year. If you're a citizen, it's 1 year. I know mine was 2 years. Mine's the law enforcement representative in the community. I think Jay was yours 2 years as well.
Well, mine's a year, and I don't know why, but it's a year.
Interesting.
And I've sent my letters,
Have a good thing.
just
I have not, but I will put it down.
one-liner, that's.
Yeah, tell you.
So I told Jen that because she told me that mine expired. I can't see my email now. She told me mine did not expire until June of 2024. So I was like, okay, then,
I'll clarify it tomorrow.
so, and she's out tomorrow.
Oh, okay, well, when she comes back, I'll clarify it.
So she said she was out until tomorrow, so I'm like, okay, then I guess there's no sense in sending another letter if it doesn't expire until June of 2024.
So I'm pretty sure Preston's expired and he has said he's not coming back.
Yeah.
Correct. So that was the other thing, is Preston's expired at the end of last month, so he said that he was,
He's the minister, Paul.
yes, so he said he was
He's one of the nonprofits.
willing to, give up his seat for somebody else, and we had already lost another one, so that's why we're down to just,
No, what about Ben Kaufman?
Ben is out of town today.
Oh, okay.
Right. So that's why we're down to 4 people, which is not a quorum if all of us are here, so that is a problem.
Yep.
We have been asking for several months for the select board to fill those vacant seats.
To my knowledge, we've not had any people volunteer for anything. We're searching out still for the different commissions.
Has it been posted on the
Mhm.
webs? It has been.
It's very, very difficult
It
to
is.
find people willing to step up.
It is.
So which seats are vacant?
So we,
Preston filled which?
nonprofit.
Nonprofit. Okay, so the nonprofit seat is vacant, and then we had
And then we need 2 general public.
general public.
Yeah, because Jen was general public and Fairhouse was general public.
And who?
Jen Williamson?
Yeah.
She's general. There was somebody else in the group, and I think it was also general public at that point.
Yeah, so,
What was his name?
I don't remember his name right now. I
Messier, Bernie,
oh, yes,
met him once.
yes, 2 seats.
So I think it was general public.
then Ben, was that another
No,
nonprofit?
the proper, yeah.
And I don't know how that's, so, and not to fault anybody, but I don't know what the connection has to be, because can a nonprofit that's not a St. Albans town resident, I mean, like Ben is, what, the food shelf for the
No,
kitchen?
Oh, no, homeless shelter.
Yeah, the homeless shelter, which is in the city, and he's a city resident. What connection does he have to the town board?
Does he live in the city, or is he a town?
He was voted in the city on election day last fall, so I thought, I saw him go into City Hall with his,
Preston City too, actually.
yeah. And I'm fine with it, I don't care. I just kind of,
I'm almost sure, I know
if we can't
it's-
find town residents, how does that feather out here?
I know his church is in there. I'm almost sure. I don't know if he's a city resident.
I don't know where Preston lives.
So I wonder if, yeah, that's interesting, that's an interesting point, like, I wonder if it's because they were
Do they serve
given a
us?
seat because they serve
the town community
the
as
town
well.
community, and that's a good point.
I have no idea.
Well, I think part of the problem is that the bylaws for this committee are pretty wishy-washy. They're pretty loosey-goosey.
They're very loose and not very specific.
Right.
Yeah, and it's something that we talked about in the past that we're needing to be, a little bit more clarified. But unfortunately, we don't, since we're not gonna be together much longer, I'm not sure that there's much point in that, but it would be interesting.
To find out the question, answer the question.
Answer to the question,
It's like if
so,
we're moving forward, we need to make sure when we move forward that that's solidified for that aspect so they don't have the same
it
issues we're
is,
having.
because we don't want everybody from the city being on that board. We wanna make sure that we have representation
Here.
from the
The
town.
cities, yeah,
Well, I do know on that contract level, it is 3-3.
It is, excuse me?
it's 3-3.
3-3, has to be 3 city residents and 3 town residents.
Mhm.
But I wonder if they're gonna divvy it up like they've done here, where it's like business, that I don't know.
That, yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think
they-
they didn't discuss that.
They haven't even, the other thing, they haven't even discussed that, like, how are they gonna fill slots, do they have to meet certain needs, certain criteria to be in that part?
But I don't think that's even been
It
discussed.
hasn't been discussed yet.
I do know that unlike the sheriff's department, the chief of police reports to Dominic, and he will be the person who oversees the police department. It's different than what we've got now,
Yeah.
which where the public controls who gets elected.
Okay. Well, so that I think would be, are you gonna go to the select board meeting? I think that would be a really valid question for them as we seek to try to fill seats on this committee for the remainder of the year until next June. Is, you know, the seats that we're seeking to fill, if it's a nonprofit, is it a individual who resides physically within the town, or is it a nonprofit individual who serves people
In this town.
of St. Albans town? Like, what is their definition?
Yeah.
So seeking, I think, a little bit of definition and guidance for that. I mean, because certainly, you know, I could try to solicit people to try to fill that slot, but it's a little bit hard to solicit if we don't know what we're trying to solicit for.
Yeah.
What time is the meeting on Monday? 7?
No, 6:30.
6:30. I don't think I'll be able to make it. I have like 2 other meetings. It's gonna be fun Monday night.
Select board meeting Monday. 6:30 p.m. Okay, I'm not sure that I can make that meeting, but I might be able to try. Okay. All right. Is there anything else this evening? I think that is all we had.
Yeah.
All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
So many.
Either or.
Huh?
It's both of us.
Okay. Motion?
Seconded.
Second, okay. Motion at 7:33 to adjourn. Second by